You're here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. I'm gonna put this one
Perfect.
in and see. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good.
Good. Awesome. I'm so thrilled to have our first guest, who's Christy with Tatting by Christy, with us today. She's a perfectly good addition to our all natural product and handcrafted, and she has a different type of craft that she does. And I'm going to let her explain everything because most of y'all know that we do all natural skincare products from the goat's milk from our farm. Um, so I'm going to let her explain everything, what she does, what tatting is, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I'm so excited. This is my first podcast for the year, my first speaking engagement for the year.
Nice.
So, tatting is a way of making lace. We can date it back to 1750.
Whoa.
It looks like crochet, but we use a
Mhm.
shuttle. And we're making the same knot fishermen use for their nets called a half hitch, but we call it a double stitch. So if you cut through tatting, it doesn't unravel like crochet does.
Okay.
So I've tatted for over 40 years. I'm entering my 14th year where I do historical events and I do school days and I do the handmade shows where I run into you. But I add the edging onto the baby bonnets and baby booties. I also tat with the Acadian brown cotton. I'm Acadian. Oh, my cat's in the background. There's been a big resurgence with that. So one great grandmother tatted. My other great grandparents were Acadian. They were sharecroppers. They were farmers, and they grew it. So when I was able to work with it and tat crosses and rosaries, I was really excited.
Nice.
So, but I get to have fun and I get to have a foot in the historical doing the school day in. And then I get to go do the shows and I get to see all my friends. Like this
I
is a
always
good
look
time of
forward
life.
to seeing my friends at the show, especially last year, because I
Yes.
had a lot of my friends that closed down their small business because it just couldn't make it sustainable anymore
Right.
because of the economy. So to see that, it was almost like a family reunion to be then blessed and still be amongst other artists because what we
Right.
do is an art. Yeah, so absolutely. I look forward to shows all the time too and see, okay, thank God they're still in business, you know?
We're a community. We're a
Mm-hmm.
community.
Yeah.
And we're like no other. We're one person shows. Like I'm the bookkeeper. I make everything. I'm
Yep.
customer service. I handle
Your
the website.
marketing, everything. Yes.
And it's a lot for a one person, but we do it. We love what we do. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't.
Gosh, no. And I tell everybody, especially when it comes to goats, don't go into goading, which I don't even know if that's a word, but don't go into goading to make money.
No.
You do it because you enjoy it and you enjoy the animals. Now, what you can do with it, if you want to do cheese or milk or whatever, or soaps like me, that's a little extra. And this is when you can build up a business, but it's a lot of work, you know. I was just sharing in a networking group today that I was thrilled to receive a phone call from a lady that actually has been with me for 5 years as a customer. So I'm one of those businesses. I don't want to just build one-time sales.
Correct.
And I'm sure you're the same way. I want to build a relationship with you. And so when I get approached, somebody asked me, are you ever worried that AI will take over your craft? I'm like, no.
No.
Because their AI cannot do customer service like I do.
Well, AI can't make the soap. Tatting cannot be replicated by a machine as of today. It has to be done by hand.
By hand.
And the heirloom shops used to be able to get so many yards from France. But after COVID, they couldn't. So whoever was making the simple edging. So I teach a lot of workshops. I do custom orders for edging, like all the little baptism gowns, like the heirloom sewing. So AI can't do what we do. You know, and I think it's when we actually go out and do the markets and we do the shows and they come back and they're pregnant. For me, it's the baby bonnets. Like
Yeah.
they're pregnant and then they come back with the baby wearing it and then they want the next size up. And so I think that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
It's our
Because
community.
we do have this personal relationship with our customers. And so I know people like us, we feel very fortunate and we understand that relationship, that it's necessary. And
Correct.
that's, I think, what makes us, you and me, stand out from other small businesses that just want to make a quick buck. You know,
Right.
I call them the fly by night vendors.
I do too.
You
I
know?
do too. And we see that at the shows. Like
Yes,
we're going
it's
to see
very
them.
heartening.
We're going to see them at that one show and then you never see them again. And you
Yeah.
can go, if somebody has something similar, I won't go in their booth. I just won't
Yes.
do that. But I'll go walk around and I'm like, ooh.
Same here.
But what you and I do, we didn't do it overnight.
No.
You know, we've had to work at it. Like I iron all my seams, I top stitch. What you're doing, you just didn't throw stuff in a blender and stir it up and then here's my soap, here's my lotion. It took you time to develop the product you wanted that's safe for your customers. So we're masters at
Trial and
what we
errors all the time in my part.
do. Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't like it, I don't sell it.
Correct.
And I'm sure you feel the same way. So show us some of your products. You got some handy?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, great.
So what I do, because I'm an older, my youngest one is going to be 21 and I have boys, so it's a different world. So I had a little girl.
You didn't have any girls to do bonnets for, right?
None.
So you can hope for granddaughters, right?
One day.
If God is willing.
So I had a young lady that's an influencer in Florida. That's actually I'm from around the Acadiana area, around the Lafayette area. And she saw me at a farmer's market and I didn't know she was an influencer. She bought something for her, I guess, niece and nephew. Well, next thing you know, she tags me. They go to your website, they start buying. So she got pregnant, had a little girl. I sent her bonnets. I'm like, hey, just tag me. So it's working smarter, not harder. And she's in those groups. This little girl from Austin, Candace, contacts me. And she actually had this little, when she was little, it has the petals.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
And she's in a mom's group. Nobody could find a pattern. You can't find them anywhere. They had talked to, I don't know how many other seamstresses. I have sewn since I was little, okay? I was like, yeah, I'm game. Let's see what we can do. I'll mail it back and forth with you. She wanted it for her little girl. So we went back and forth. I mailed her different ones and she gave me great feedback. So I am the only one that has this petal hat.
Wow.
So I did the vintage market in a meet and I had like about 20 of them to test. I came home with one.
Wow. But that's amazing.
So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on a whole bunch. And so Candace, I'll send her pictures from the fabric shop. And again, it's local. We support local. We need them. I use a local fabric shop. It's the 3rd generation that's running it. So I'll send Candace pictures. I call her my consultant because I have no clue what moms want. And she'll go, that's the top, that's the petal. And they sell. So I work with her.
Nice.
So it just makes it easier. I'm not having to do that part of social media. And it's worth a free bonnet or a bucket hat or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And they're happy customers. So anyway, this is
exactly. You want to keep your customers happy. Absolutely. I'm with you on that one because when somebody places an order, let's say, online, and I tell my husband all the time, I said, I wish we would have a scratch and sniff screen, so you can scratch. Okay. Yeah. I like that scent. So I send out samples. They last you easily for a week to 2 weeks. For free, but I also add usually 1 or 2 samples depending on the size of the order. But I also ask, look, take that other sample, give it to a friend.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the easiest. For Mardi Gras, I have several people that ride on parades. And yeah, I give them samples too, so they can hand them out to
Oh, that's
parade
smart.
goers. So so that's my, working a little bit smarter, and people love that because they don't have to spend any money, and they can
Mhm.
give something out for free that is unique. Um, so
And a
I'm
happy customer is your best advertisement.
Oh, word to mouth. That's how I started. And I was thinking about this morning. I said, it's so strange. My first 10 years, I pretty much just had word to mouth customers. I didn't really
Mhm.
do advertisement, and they're still with me. That's one of the best and cheapest way. The hardest part, to keep those customers going, but it's one of the most I find wholesome relationships that I have built
Mhm.
are people from other from word to mouth kind of thing. But for me, social media plays a huge role where people like ask, okay, where do you get your skincare from? What do you do? And people say, oh, you go
Mhm.
see the goat lady. And it's the same thing with you. So I have no problem giving somebody a discount or
Oh, me
thing
me
for
either.
free
Yeah.
because they accumulating sales for me. So how did you end your year? Pretty good.
2025 was better. Like, everyone had a really good
Hmm.
2021. After COVID, everyone was
Yeah.
like out and about. My 25 was better than 21, but I
Wow.
also I changed. I'm going into my 14th year doing shows and events, and the one thing I found, they don't stay the same.
Mm-mm.
I need to be
You're right.
around handmade. I need to be around artisan. I really can't be if it's a lot of resale, if it's not juried really well. I don't, those aren't my people. They're
Yeah.
not going to appreciate the quality of the fabric. I don't use the lower end fabric. You can feel that.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
that's what my people, my clients, my people like. Um, so I took some gambles last year, and I did the vintage market in Mobile in August. I almost sold all my baby bonnets in August. So
yeah.
it's
Nice.
it's always, I don't know about you, but I'm always looking ahead. And I have a list of potential markets or events. Might not be this year, might be in 5 years.
Hmm.
So I can do my homework, because like Destrehan wasn't good for me this year, and I
At
probably
all.
won't be back. No, I didn't cover expenses.
Oh, wow.
Around me, I had a lot. I call it flea market. Yeah. And I had people asking me, well, they have a sale 3 for this much. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Sorry.
So, yeah,
So,
I have those type of customers, believe it or not. But it was just so I started in 2024, believe it. I was called to do that. A lot of times I
right,
get this feeling and I'm like, and I looked ahead and I said, okay, so which markets are really good for me? Where I
right.
don't have to travel 2 hours or 4 hours
I
or,
met you in 24. You did a meet. I had to go and
Yes.
walk it the Sunday to see. I try to walk an event, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where I met you
Yes.
because I talked to you.
Yes. But yeah, so at that point, I already decided that a meat was great,
Right,
but I just did not like that there were so much more. Because when I started out in the meat, it was truly, or in the vintage market, it was truly for small businesses and artisan.
right.
And then they decided to add on those sponsors, and that's when it became like,
Yeah,
that's really not what I want to be around. This is not my type of
right,
people. And so I started noticing a decline where people were not willing to pay for the quality and handcraft, that they preferred
right.
something from um, Hobby Lobby that was made in China. And I'm like, yeah.
But I think they had some in there that was, I call it resale. I call it Timu
Hmm.
resale.
Yeah,
Where I'm different is, no, they can't get the traditional little prairie bonnets.
exactly.
Those children's boutiques cannot order that. So
Mm-mm.
right now I'm really good doing the bonnets and the bucket hats, and that's what I sell at those because no one else makes them.
Right. Nobody else does it. And so it makes you unique, where I was more in and like I said, it changes all the time. Like
Mhm.
you said, you evaluate, you look at your numbers, and you kind of like, okay, maybe to
Right.
move on, or, and I gotta tell you, you would think, and that was my biggest fear when I started eliminating some of those markets. Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose all that money. When in fact, I was actually making more money.
Correct. Yeah,
Because I got more time to concentrate more local and regional and do actually more of the marketing. And so it kind of worked out for me. It doesn't mean everybody should do it, but it worked out for me.
right.
It was a gut feeling that I had, and I'm happier. And I tell people, say, I have livestock. I cannot leave for 5 days.
No, you can't. No. You see, I have fabric, so I can leave for
Right. You
fabric.
can you can
I
go
just
for
have to
five
have
days.
someone check on the cats, but
They're easy though, right?
they're easy. Now you see,
Have you ever made a
25
bonnet
years
for your cat?
huh?
Have you ever made a bonnet for your cat?
No, but I need to.
You need to do that.
And I'll
Oh
send
my
you a picture.
gosh. Yes, you got to do that. A little one with the ears sticking
I
out.
know,
You
I
need to
know.
do that. That could be your logo,
I
you
got the
know?
mixer for the goats.
Oh my gosh, yes. So we have 5 babies. I don't know if you've seen the
I
pic.
saw them. They're cute.
Oh gosh, they're such a handful. And one of the first one, she had other issues, and unfortunately she passed away. We could not
Oh,
save her. But her babies are preemies anyway, so they're much smaller than the other three. But it's just as rambunctious. But yeah, so we have babies now, and I couldn't be able to go to shows right now anyway because I have to bottle feed those babies. You
so
know.
I think it's where you are.
Mhm.
So I homeschooled both my sons.
Mhm.
So we did that. So, but 25 years ago, I was doing alterations. I have associates in accounting. I had always worked. I'm a bookkeeper. And then different doors open and different things, and you need to work. So I did alterations for a long time, and clothing changed. It wasn't made well. People are different. And so 15 ish years ago, 16, I'm like, okay, something has to give. I can't keep, I can't have these people at my house anymore. So what could I do? And that's when I
Yes.
transitioned to what you see me doing now. So
Right.
it's scared to when we're businesses to do that. But like my youngest is 21. So he could come with me to do the shows. He was my roadie.
Nice.
But now I have the opportunity where I can travel when I
Nice.
couldn't do that prior. So like you have the goats, well, I had the little kids.
Mhm.
So, but I'm aware like in 5 years, I can transition and do something a little bit different.
Right.
And then right
Yeah.
now I'm getting invited to do 1776 birthday celebration. It's a big
Nice.
thing. So the
Really?
end of the month, I'll be near Toledo Bend at Fort Jessup, which was it's a state's historical site. They're kicking it off. So each parish, each state
Oh, you're talking
historical
about the
site is
250-year celebration?
so yeah.
Oh, nice.
I dress in period, and I go up there a lot. So I'm excited to be a part of this. It's like a once in a lifetime. And
Oh,
tatting is that
absolutely.
time period, so it's like we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
But I
And
teach workshops too. So that's kind of I enjoy that. We have to
mhm.
enjoy what we do. But it's scary when you decide to like I was at the local farmers market and I saw where it was going. And I told you that, so that's when I looked into doing the vintage markets and doing like Destrehan, doing more 2 and 3 day shows.
Yes.
And so right now, I did much. 2025 was amazing. Like it was better than 2021. And that says a lot. So it's just being scary. Like it's comfortable being in your same place but
Yes.
we're supposed to share the love.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, I'm not a risk taker, where a lot of small businesses are, but it also has saved me during COVID. So
Mhm.
before COVID, I bought the building, I paid for it right away. I did the installation, the inside, everything. Everything was paid for, so I didn't have that expense. And I'm very grateful for it.
Oh yeah.
Um, so in a way, it kind of saves me, but people always push me, just go for it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um,
No, I'm I'm like you.
It's
I want to see the numbers, and I don't
right,
like change.
right.
I need to like
It's even with
see
making
it.
new products,
Right.
and I'm getting discontinuing old products. I'm very loyal to my customers, my friends, my family, and my products. But at one point, I got to sit seriously. I have to sit down at the end of the year and say, okay, so I'm sorry, and I have this conversation with my product.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you just did not sell the way I wanted you to sell. And it's been 2 years. So maybe I need to put you on the back burner for right now and
Vacation.
bring you back later.
Yeah.
Right. But I have to have this conversation with my products. Because I get like, I'm like, but I personally like it. And so I'm very loyal to my products. However, the hottest sellers, so I discontinued about 3 or 4 of them that just did not sell,
Right.
as they should. And so I probably with the scent, I'm probably going to revamp them in something else. And I think it's going to be really, really good what I'm thinking of. But anyway, so I do understand the risk, and I do understand what you're saying with a small business. We have to stay on top more than a larger business. We cannot make mistakes because
No.
we have such a small margin to make a mistake.
Hmm.
And because we control everything, you know. So have you ever thought about if you get very, very big that you would have to hire somebody and if that person would be trustworthy to do the same quality as you do?
I've
Have
had
you ever
different
thought about
people
that?
offer to help me. I have a friend of mine. We grew up together from high school. She would come help me at some of the shows I did, but I trust her completely because
Oh, that's good.
our like my name's on my business. Um, and at the farmers market I attended, you could have somebody else set up your booth and sell. Like you didn't have to physically be there. Our local farmers market. And I saw what went on with that, and I was like, "Oh no, 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 no." So I like being a one person, um, and I'm like but this is what I do, Like right now, last weekend in February, I'm going to Mobile for the vintage market, and I have 3 vintage markets 2 weeks apart until
Oh,
Easter.
wow. Yeah,
So
you're going
every
to be
week,
like busy.
yeah, like this was last week. I got pedal bonnets out, got them on the website. This is the little traditional prairie, so I'm adding the tatted edging to them. So hopefully I'll have them on the website. Today's Wednesday, hopefully
Yeah.
for Friday. So every week I sat down and I scheduled out my week. So this week is this week is this. Like
So what's
that
your
way I can
website?
www.tattingbychristy.com.
All one word, Tatting by
All one
Christy.
word.
Perfect. Yeah, so they know
Um,
where to find you to look up
And
your
I'm
product.
supposed to come out your way, Rick Rack. Heidi, she'd come to see me in
Yeah,
Destrehan.
Heidi. Oh my gosh, yes. You're going to be on the West Bank. Is it going to be on the
Yes.
weekend?
We don't have a date yet, but I'll let you know.
If it's
But
a
they want,
Saturday, let me know because then we can meet at the Gretna Market and then we maybe can have lunch afterwards.
yep, she's
You know?
wonderful.
Oh,
She's had called me and she came see me at Destrehan, and she had told me she had stopped to see you. And I'm like, oh my God, I love her. So I'm
Heidi, I've
supposed
been
to
knowing
come to
Heidi
Rick
for
Rack.
years and she uses my products, but I just, you just start talking and there's some I love the Gretna Farmers Market. It's a very established market. And we have very unique. We have like really young families
Mm-hmm.
and teenagers that shop all the way to 80-year-olds. So I have this
Wow.
variety of customers, and which is really, to me, it's awesome, right? Because I never know because I changed my customer service to who I have in front of me,
Correct. Well, you
Um,
have to.
yeah, you need to. So, but it's really, like I said, it's a good market. It's a fast market, and yes, you have all from all lifestyles, which is really really neat. So I always enjoy. I mean, I've been going there for over 10 years,
Well,
and
Red Diva, I think, does it. She makes jewelry. Red Diva,
yeah,
Michelle.
she's
I
there
know
now.
her. Yeah.
She
I
doesn't come
think I,
every Saturday, but she's one of the artists that
mhm.
periodically, generally, so what they do at the Gretna Market every second Saturday, coming, I think, starting like October or September, all the way through January, every second Saturday have an art walk. Um, and then periodically on throughout the year they have different artists that get to come on a Saturday. So it's
Oh,
not
that's
like
nice.
because yeah, Art Walk is very busy. I don't go to Art Walk because my customers can't find parking. So that was their all of their complaint, and I would not make like more money. And so I decided to do the homesteading workshop on that Saturday here.
That
But
sounds fun.
oh gosh, yeah, we're having this. We started off really hitting the road with some great topics. So we're already doing the vegetable garden, the companion gardening already, which we're going to continue next month on the seedlings. I want to show everybody how to do the seedlings, and
Hmm.
then so you can grow from your own seeds. But we also do the quails, how to keep the quails. So next time we're going to talk about how to hatch them, how to build a hatchery, and you know how do you
Right.
get it from the eggs. And then we're also going to talk, because it's bee season, so we're going to start talk about the bees too, how to start your beehive, what you need to have,
Right.
how to set it up. So we're going to go into that already. So we're hitting it running. Last workshop was how to build a quail cage, what the dimensions need to be, and the feeders and everything else. So
Right.
yeah, so we have Joe and I, we enjoy teaching it because when you have healthier food, you just feel better. You
Well, we
know.
grew up, my mom, I mean, I grew up, my grandparents, we grew up doing all of that. And I
Mm-hmm.
find like the 20 and 30-year olds missed out on that.
Yes.
And I'm starting to see that, like when I go to Fort Jessup, Carrie, the site manager, does tea and textile once a month. And she's done canning and preserving and natural dyes. And the homes, like these young families are showing up and they want to know how to do these
Mhm.
things.
They want to learn. They want to learn, which is very encouraging. So,
Hmm.
and we do encourage children to come for the homesteading workshop
Oh,
too,
yes.
because we want that next generation.
Well, it's a
And
family. It's a
it's a
family.
family thing, right?
Right.
And so I tell everybody, especially when we have a whole bunch of new people, I tell them that my drive comes from being around my grandparents that one
Hmm.
set actually went through 2 world wars. And so
Oh,
they
wow.
drilled into my parents and my brother and me and my cousins um, the importance of food.
Hmm.
You know, no matter how big or how small your area, you need to grow your own food. You need to have food. You need to have food. You can't think. And so this is where my drive comes in because I was raised that way. And I gotta tell you, when COVID hit and we had all those recalls on vegetables, all of a sudden they had salmonella. And I'm like, I don't have to worry about that because I
Correct.
have my canned stuff. And I remember, what was it, a couple of years ago, we did tomatoes, how to can. We're probably going to can tomatoes this year again. Um, Everybody's like, wait, why are your tomatoes more orangey red than red? I said, that's because it has no food dye. And they're
Correct.
like, what? I said, what you buy in the store has food dye, and then you wonder why your child
And
has
what else?
outrageous personality
Hmm.
after they eat spaghetti or Heinz ketchup because of the food dye in it. And I said, because they're reacting even faster than you are. And I said, and that's why. And I said, and that's why it's important that you see that it's not supposed to look like you get
Right.
it in the grocery store. And so yeah, so that was a lot of eye opener. And then when we harvest the honey, people think bees, oh, you have honey throughout the year, which is not true, right? And because, you have to let them build up. In the wintertime, you don't harvest nothing because they have to eat that honey. That's their food in
Hmm.
case something doesn't bloom and we get a hard winter. Um, so we don't harvest until like through halfway through the summer, right? When we see that the honey super is full. And people last year, they're like, oh, oh. And I said, so you guys asking to purchase our honey. I don't even have enough to feed myself at this point because
Right.
I only had one hive. And I said, now when we have more hives, then that's a different
It'll
story,
be
right?
different.
Um, but as of right now, I don't have enough, so I'm not selling,
But you
you
can,
know?
and it's a good
So,
immune. It's immune too. The honey is good for your immune system,
and
and
that's why I told them, I said,
tolerance.
that's why we want you to learn so you have your own honey. So you don't have to buy it from me. I want you to have your own bees. So you have all your pollen from your area in that honey, you
So
know?
what we did at the farmers market, I mean, we had, you know, cattle like the beef and like it was
Hmm.
all like grazed, like it was all healthy. So I am more than happy to buy from them. But I grew up, we had a family garden
Hmm.
because my great grandparents were sharecroppers and my great grandfather had cattle when I was little. That was the best meat, you know. But we canned and we froze everything. My grandmother had a deep freezer, and so we could pull out like it
Yes.
was for the family, you know. But I just don't want a garden, but I'm happy to support the local farmers, and you know that's part of your community and part of your tribe. Look for COVID. That's when you started making phone calls. I
Hmm.
knew who I could call, and we could all like I made face masks like crazy, you know, and so I would swap. Like, yeah, you need
Hmm.
oh yeah, can you give me some honey? Or I'd use the beeswax for my thread for when I attach
Hmm.
my edging when I do handwork. I
Hmm.
they, the local family I know, they do the beeswax, the
Yep.
little bars, and I can run my thread through it. Um,
Right.
but it's part of us keeping it local, supporting your neighbor. That's what, when I grew up in the 70s, that's what you did. You knew where it was
Hmm.
coming from. So I tell my sons it's like a pendulum swings, and then slowly it's coming back to like all these young families want to do the homesteading and natural. And so it's exciting to see that
Oh,
coming back, you know, and it's part of your
yes.
community in your village, you know, because I can't
Yeah.
do all of that. And so,
Right. And so that's what I tell people. I said, I don't, I'll only grow what I eat.
correct.
Um, but if you want to grow a different vegetable, you go ahead and do that. That's perfectly fine. Like I don't eat okra only if it's in gumbo. So I don't grow okra, right?
I like fried okra. That's the only way I eat it
So,
is fried.
so I have no problem growing lettuce, let's say, and I can, if I need okra, go to somebody grows it. I said, okay, so
Correct.
you want to barter. I have no problem doing that. But it's very encouraging that more and more people realize that they can
Right.
grow their own food and they can sustain themselves
Right.
uh,
It's
and they
exciting
say,
seeing that.
right. Um, and I think over the years we have forgotten,
Mm-hmm.
or,
It's true.
and I tell people all the time, I say, it's funny, my grandparents all canned because
Hmm.
they didn't grow up with freezers, right?
Right.
Um, And so jelly, everything got canned. And then my mom's generation,
Hmm.
they put everything in the freezer. It was
Yeah. That
easier.
was my mama. Yeah.
And so I come along, I put everything in the freezer, but then Katrina hit.
Oh, you're
And
closer.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I guess that didn't work with putting everything in the freezer. So if I would have canned it, I would not have to worry about it. So that's
Right.
when I started my canning journey. Unfortunately, my grandmother was no longer alive. My mom only remembered bits and pieces of her canning. And I tell people all the time, I said, write the recipes down so you can
Hmm.
pass it on to your children and
Correct.
grandchildren. I mean, I wish my grandmother would have written everything down because I'm sure she had certain seasonings she put in there, certain things. And I don't know. I mean, I had to do my own research to
Right.
really get back down
So
into
could she
canning.
read? Could she read and write? See, my great grandparents could not
Oh,
read and
yeah.
write. You see,
She
they
could
couldn't
read
read
and
or
write.
write. They spoke the Acadian French. They did
Oh,
not read or write. My great grandparents.
yeah.
Now my great grandmother that did the tatting, she did because I have some of her handwritten. recipes. Um,
Nice.
but I'm friends with Lisa and Jean Josie. They do jams and jelly. Josie's Goods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've done shows with them. They're like
I may have.
going
I don't
towards
know.
Scott. I don't know if they've gone your way. They locally source with Louisiana farmers, and they do Mama's jams and jellies. That is what
Nice.
they're known for. And they will go to the farmer and they will go pick whatever it is. But they pride themselves in having a working relationship with Louisiana farmers.
It's the
Like
same thing
her
here. Yes.
recipes are mama, they're mama and papa's recipes,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, so I got certified Louisiana last year, and I'm super thrilled. It took me 2 years, but I finally had it done. Not that it
Oh,
was
good.
difficult; it's just I could never get my butt to do it. Right? You
Right. It's
put
the
me, oh,
paperwork.
I'm doing it tomorrow, and then yeah, 2 years passed. Anyway, I got it done, but they pretty much certify that most of like 75% or more of my products either
Mhm.
are comes from the farm or
Right.
comes from body in the state of Louisiana, because you want to support our economy. You wanted to make it better, and you certainly want to support the farmers,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I anybody listening to this, please go to your local farmers market, shop with Tatting by Christy, shop with our store. Because we appreciate you and we
We
give
keep it
back
in
to
the
the
community.
community.
We
Like,
keep it in the community. Yeah.
right. And like Christy, she teaches,
Mm-hmm.
educates individual, even children, on the history of tatting. Um, and we do our events like Picnic with the Goats, Goat Yoga. We do um, homesteading workshop. That's our community events where we give back to our community what we know, and share our knowledge and our goats, right? So you don't get that from Walmart. You don't get that
No.
from big companies that are so willing to be part of a community and support that community. Um, so
No. I mean,
absolutely.
this is what I would tell people because, like, when I was at our market before they started changing, um, like what you're paying for, my youngest son plays violin. You were paying
Hmm.
for violin lessons. You paid for the violin maintenance. You paid. So there's a local Anya has solo violin. She's downtown Lafayette. Guess what? You're paying for her. So her two sons can do, like, it's a cycle. That's how it was back in the 17 and 1800s. You didn't travel. You didn't have big box. Um,
You
and
didn't
so
have Amazon
no. And I,
or
so
the internet.
no. So when I do a lot of my talks, my school days, I go into what is your story?
Yeah.
Because we're so busy today. Growing up, we would go to my great grandmother's. We were going my dad's side or my mom's side on Sundays, and everybody
Hmm.
would show up, and you could hear the family stories. You knew your oral history for
Yeah.
your family,
Yes.
and we're so busy today. You don't go to Mama's on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I go into what is your story, and I have a handout with questions, and that's what I give the school children.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
go interview Mama and Papa. Go talk to your neighbors. Um,
Hmm.
because once they're gone, those stories are gone, and a genealogy chart doesn't tell you that.
No,
And I think when
exactly.
people do your homesteading or come do the goat yoga or they come to one of my workshops, we put the phone aside and we're doing what we did back in the 70s and 80s before we had the phone, before we were connected all the time. And I think people need to step away and do something with their hands. Do something with your hands, whether it's
Or in nature, just
right.
really enjoy and take in nature. That is so calming, you know? Absolutely. And here's the thing, when you do something, just if even if you just can your vegetables, let's just say,
Right.
right? Um, you're doing something to better yourself. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It boosts your confidence, it boosts your energy, it boosts your self-esteem. Hey, you know what? Look at me, you know?
Right.
So it's not that this is our intent to boost your energy and boost your self-esteem, but it's just a nice side effect that comes with
Right.
it. When you look on the shelf, all those beautiful colors of canning or your bonnets or my soaps, when I look at this, I said, I did this. This is
Right.
cool. I did this, you know, and I get to share this with people.
Right.
And I can tell you, I get told all the time, you could sell your products for a lot more. I said, yes, but I don't want to.
It's a fine line when you're pricing. It's
Right.
such a fine line. And I hate going up, but I had to
Well,
go up
yeah.
last year on some things because fabric went up. And I
Right.
understand that. But I hadn't gone up in a long time. But I think it's what I tell them in the workshops, it's or like the school days, because normally it's seventh grade when I do a school day. That's
Mhm.
Louisiana history. And I'm like, work with your hands, whether it's going dig a garden or crocheting or
Mhm.
drawing something or writing a poem. It's being creative. And we're all made
Mhm.
differently to be creative differently. But it's so fulfilling. Like I can take fabric and then like look at what I did, like the little paddle hat. Look how
Mhm.
cute.
Yes.
Like I did that, and like I did that, I just think that's what kids need. I think I think all of us need that outlet just to step away from the TV, the electronics, and go walk,
And when
go
you do
hiking.
padding or sewing or working in the garden, go on CajunCorral.com and get yourself some good lotion so you keep your
Oh yeah,
hands nice and moist while you're
and I like
working.
my
Because
lotion I got from you at Christmas
I
from a
know
Destrehan.
Industrial, right? It was right. What the oh, that was
November?
Veterans Day. Yeah, the Veterans Day. We had it. They had it
Yeah,
on Veterans Day. But
I couldn't
yeah,
remember.
absolutely. I mean, I put lotion on when I dig in the garden because dirt dries you out. But when I work with
Mhm.
not fabric, but with wool, when I periodically, I mean, I do have time. I knit. I love to knit. But it dries out my hand, which
Well,
is
I'm washing
fine.
my hands all the time. Since I
Mm-hmm.
started doing the alterations, anytime I did something, I'd go wash my hands and then I'd work with it. Wash my hands and work with it.
And that
So
dries
my
you
hands
out
are
too.
always
Yeah.
dry. But your lotion is not greasy. It absorbs really well. And so I don't have to like walk around doing this and then I can go touch fabric or my thread. Um, because I
Yeah.
have to be mindful of that. I don't
Yeah.
want that on the fabric or the
And
thread.
that's why I designed it. See, when I designed it, when I designed the lotion, I wanted something that soaks in right away because I don't have time to wait for this thing to soak in. Because by the time I have to wait 10 minutes and it still sits on top, I wash it off,
Right.
right? Uh, I mean, what's the purpose then on having lotion? So you want it to soak in quickly, but you also want it to be moisturizing and effective and
Right.
stay with it. And so that's why I didn't put alcohol in it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, so I tell people all the time, I said, yeah, and then, once you do this, make sure that you get yourself a good lotion by me and you'll be good. You don't have to worry about your nail
Well, my
bed.
mail ladies, I bought the sets. You had the little
Yeah,
Christmas
wait,
sets.
like these. And they were
Yeah.
lemongrass, I think, but yeah,
Yeah, I
those are
bought the
little sets.
lemongrass
Mm-hmm.
and they loved it. And I take
Gosh,
care of I have a mail lady and then her sub, Ebony and Mrs.
super.
Seal, and they take good care. Look, I have to take care of them.
And that
You know,
lemongrass was my hottest seller in December, which I would have
they
never
love
thought.
it. They write the nicest little thank you card and I get it in the mailbox. I think I'm the only one that takes care of them on the route, but I
Yes, which
appreciate
is
them.
sad, and that's what people used to do, like, I mean, I give my Amazon driver always herbs, "Here, take some, cook with
Yeah,
it," or things like this because I don't want them to get in trouble that, you know,
right.
um, but not that they take care of me, they're just very nice, It's
It's
like
a
my
whole
mail lady,
crowd.
she's yeah, I mean, but they tell me all the time they get yelled at, they get fussed at. I'm like,
Oh
"Why?
yeah.
You deliver packages. Why would they people should be happy." And
Well,
then when it comes in,
I
I mean
mail. I mail a lot, like the website, I'll mail
mhm.
a lot. And so they're having to pick up, like, I hear they go across the street and then they go through a neighbor, like down the street, and then I hear them coming back and I'll run out with my packages. I'm like, wait.
That bad. I put it still in the mailbox, which, I told my husband for my birthday I want, a larger mailbox, so more packages can fit in it, because sometimes they stick out in the back, and I'm
Oh,
like, "Oh, hopefully they won't fall out."
no, I mean, I can fit most, but Christmas, I had, like, when, like, she posted this in the moms group,
Mhm.
all overnight. It just went crazy. And then I find my
Nice.
website's taken off more. So, I mean, I was doing like Destrehan, doing the shows, and then my website was hitting, and I was like, oh God, I gotta package that when I get home. And like, there was like 3 weeks, which is good.
Yeah,
But
don't complain. That's beautiful. That's
I was
awesome.
running outside with the package. Like I was just putting like sealing them. I'm like, wait, I'm coming, chasing her down the road.
I'm not that crazy yet, but one day probably. I mean, I have a lot of orders, but like I said, I need a bigger mailbox. And she
Right,
knows. I mean, I probably could rearrange, put a box out there and say, hey, just been, I have a red label or something like on it. Please look in the
right,
box. There's something in it. But, then she would have to get out the thing. And I feel sorry. I mean, I don't want her to fall or trip or anything. So
right.
I just, because we do take care of the people that take care of us, of course.
It's our
Um,
community. We're in
mhm.
this together.
Yeah, literally, we don't have a
We
choice,
are
right?
into this together. Yeah.
So, okay, before we close, anything you want to say that shows that are coming up that where they can find you other than
I'll
the
be in a meet.
1776?
I'll be in a meet for the vintage market. It's in February. I think it's
Is
two
it
weeks before
is it
Easter.
February or March?
February. It's 2 weeks before
Oh,
Easter. When
I
Easter
thought it was
hits, I'm
Mobile.
done with I'm done with vintage markets. Yeah. Um, and I'm trying to think. I'm gonna be doing Mobile, which is the last weekend in. Oh no, I think you're right. It is in March. I got my calendar all messed up in my head. Mobile's the last weekend in February,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I
2 weeks
thought.
after that's a meet, and then I'm going to Pearl, Mississippi 2 weeks after that, the weekend before Easter.
Hmm. Nice.
Um, yeah, and so I mean, after that, I don't have a lot, so I'll start doing my workshops and probably some more historical events, and then trying to see what else pops up. But
Yeah, my
I
next.
enjoy it. I see everybody.
You have to.
My fall is
Yeah,
busier for me, which shows. But spring is a little bit slower, and it's nice.
yeah.
I'll
My
be in.
next one is Homa. You should check out Southbound in Homa.
I'm gonna have to look into that. It might conflict with some already on the
That could
calendar.
it could be that it conflicts with a meet. I don't know, but usually it's around the last weekend in March.
I'm gonna look into
But
that and
but
see.
Homa, and I usually stay in a hotel there. But their booths are a little bit. They just widen them like they did in Destrehan, so you're not like squished
On
together.
top of each other. Yeah.
Right. And so I've been going there for a couple of years and I enjoy it, you
I'll
know.
have to look into it. I
Mhm.
walked it years ago, probably 10 years ago, but I can't remember what else conflicts with it. I have to look at the
Mhm.
calendar.
Yeah.
And then
Check it out if you're looking for vendors too.
I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna be in Addis, which is near Plaquemine.
Oh,
The first Saturday in March, they have a Mardi Gras, like their parade, and then they have artisan and handmade in the park. So
nice.
that'll be nice. And this year she wants artisan and handmade. So that'll be fun. I get to see
Nice.
my artist friends. Because I miss seeing my friends.
Oh, absolutely. But then you also, so what do you do for downtown time?
I don't I mean, I like to read books. My youngest one moved out, so one of the rooms will become my sewing room. I won't be sewing at the kitchen table anymore.
You're just as bad as Joe. When Annemarie went to Ireland, I mean, 10 minutes later, he was already, when we got home from dropping off at the airport, he was pulling stuff out. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, she's gone. We're going to make this year crafting. And then I outgrew that one. He says, you got to move out. You got to have your own building. He kicked me out the house. And so, yeah, that must be the Cajun thing.
It
Because
has
I'm
to
so
be.
still, I'm like, wait, let me just grieve a little bit here. So get used to her being gone. And you're like,
No, I mean,
oh,
my oldest
Lord.
son moved to Baton Rouge. He works at the Capitol. So
Nice.
we made his room into like my youngest one was doing online at the community college, and he plays violin. And so it became his music workroom. But when we did the floors, I knew it was going to be my sewing room eventually. And so he moved
Mm,
out last week. He's ready. I mean, he's like I've raised him. He's ready. It's it's good.
Yeah.
So he has a couple of more things to get, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna paint the walls, and I already know where, because I've worked at the kitchen table for 24, 25 years.
Ooh, yeah, that's a long time. You
And we
deserve
just
your own
closed
room.
in. Part of the carport is closed in. It's not big. So I would meet with my customers when I did alterations. I didn't want them in
Mhm.
my house. You don't want every stranger in your
Yeah,
house. So
exactly.
that'll be for like my inventory once it's made, my extra stock, and then the sewing room. I'll have the fabric. Like it just will be so much more organized than what I'm doing now, and I'll be able
Yeah,
to see easier. And so hopefully I'll be able to get the bonnets out faster. And
or not, because you're going to enjoy yourself so much in that room.
I can't wait. But no, I mean, there's always something going on, you know. I like to read. There's a lot of research I'm doing. Like I'm keeping up with the history of tatting and just lace in general because they're always finding out something. So for me, that's fun. I don't consider
Hmm.
that work. I get to do what I love, and I just like it's really blessed to do that, you know.
Yeah, for me, it's been figuring out Canva and their new AI features. So that's my obsession right now. So it's kind of work, but to me, it's also fun because it's also creative, you
Right,
know? So not that I want AI to take over, but it has a lot of possibility when it comes to creating your images and stuff.
right.
So, but yeah, that's my thing. So I read up on it, I watch videos, then I like, okay, so I write it down and I duplicate it. I'm like, oh, I can do this. This is pretty
Right.
cool.
And then I
Um,
watch other YouTube videos of people tatting because there's
oh
different ways to hold
wow,
your shuttle, and there's
really?
not one way. So when I teach, I'll show you how I do it. But if it's not working, let's make it work. And so
Hmm.
I feel I need to be knowledgeable on the different
Yeah.
ways people hold things. And I want you to have fun and I want you to be successful. So I'm always watching that. I like to watch like the historical. There's a couple of ladies on there that I call it my rabbit hole, like Bryce Adams. She's like a historical demonstrator somewhere. It's like in Maryland or Massachusetts, maybe
Wow.
Williamsburg. And she'll pull out like a children's sewing box and she'll go through what's in there. And I'm like,
Stop. Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh.
Like I could sit there and watch that forever. But I'm learning, and then it adds to when I'm doing the historical events.
Yes.
And people will bring stuff from, I can identify lace. So it helps me be more rounded when I'm talking, or if somebody brings in something, I kind of know what it is.
And that's
So
what makes you stand out from your competition. And I have noticed
I don't
that
have a
too.
lot of competition on the
Right. But
level that
people
I do
want to,
it.
right? Remember this
Oh, all the
strand where
time.
people are like, oh, we can do that. Sure, you
I had
can.
a lady come
Get
in
that
my
all the
booth and
time.
take pictures, another vendor. Oh, you missed that. She came and took pictures and then asked what size thread I use for my booties. And then
Wow.
told me she's going to have them next year. And I'm like, you go, girl. I've been tatting for over 40 years.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Oh yeah, I'm following you on Facebook because I want to learn. What gets me all the time now, I design my own recipes for all my products. Um,
Right.
I did the research, I calculated, and I've been doing this for since I started. But I love it when I go and do a live and how I do the process. So what's your recipe?
Yeah.
You gonna pay me $5,000 for the recipe? It's like what? I said that's my recipe. And I'm not gonna give you my recipe unless you're willing to pay for it.
Right.
I'm ultimately I'm still a businesswoman, right? And so and I tell people I have competition everywhere, but I know what makes me different from my competition.
We have to stand
Um,
out in a good way.
mhm. Oh, absolutely. Um, and and there are certain ways that I know my products. I know what they do. I know what the herbs do in the products. I know what the essential oil does, and that's where a lot of people don't have.
Because that
Um,
could be dangerous. I mean, you could have reactions, you know?
exactly. Um, and so, and I put ingredients on it, which a lot of people that do skincare don't put ingredients on it. But I want you to know what's in,
Hmm.
like end of last year, like starting in October, I started noticing a lot of my customers all of a sudden had came back and said, I don't know what's going on, but I have an allergic reaction to coconut. Went to the doctor, I can no longer eat coconut. And it was right after the Maui fire. It started
Oh,
coming out. And I'm like, oh, this is something weird. So I started researching. When my first two customers came, I said, okay, I can no longer use your soap because it has coconut oil in it. I said, oh, this is weird. And so they had almost like a gluten allergy or eczema that came out of it. Just like with the wheat that happened when
hmm,
they harvested the wheat, started changing to how they harvest the wheat 10 years ago, and
right.
everybody all of a sudden had eczema and everything else. Well, that was the same similar thing. I said, okay, so maybe something happened there with the Maui fire or something chemical that's now on there. So, and then they processed the coconuts in there. So, anyway, so I started doing research and I changed everything over to palm oil ahead of time before, So I have
Mhm.
now a lot of customers. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you're doing the soap and the body wash with palm oil because I just found out I'm allergic against coconut oil.
That's
So
interesting.
it's very
There's
interesting. So I
something to
stay
it.
on top. So it's not only that I only stay on top of the trends, that the scents and
Hmm.
everything else, but I also stay on top. Okay, so all of a sudden people have these kind of allergies. So would that affect my product? And if so, how can I change it to keep the same quality that they're used to, but make it so they can use it again?
Well, it's
So
our
it's
homework. It's we
oh, a
love what
lot.
we do. We want our customers happy.
Mhm.
So yeah, I completely get that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, because
So
I appreciate the
periodically to get through
feedback.
like this. So I'm wondering if there's like we had this explosion of meat. Remember that
Yes,
Smith's
that
plant?
was last year.
That was last year, right? And so I'm wondering if there's going to be some conditions there that maybe change because the chemicals that were in the air and went over on the crop.
Oh, it went
So some
everywhere.
right. So I'm waiting for people to come back. Okay, so now I'm allergic against this. Okay, so let's do some research there. And I'm
Right.
a big research buff. So it happened 10 years ago. It started 10 years ago. So what changed in regards to food and how they process it 10 years ago? And so I have friends in the food industry, and when I say, "Hey, so what changed?" And then
Right.
generally we can figure something what it could possibly be. Of course, we don't know 100%. That's going down my rabbit hole a lot.
Right.
But yeah, you have to stay on top. The same with the thread. I mean, what if
Hmm.
somebody all of a sudden is allergic, and more and more people? Okay, so now I'm allergic against this. You
Right.
know, then you have to. Okay, so let me figure out what changed that they didn't tell me. It's the same thing. And so, as a small business owner, a larger company probably can sweep it under the rug easier, where
Right.
we have one-on-one relationships with our customers, so they feel more compelled to tell us, hey, okay, so what's up with this product because it's no longer working that well, let's just say, or it
Right.
doesn't look that well, or I have itching now. um so we have to stay more on top of things and faster
Oh yeah.
than larger companies. And I think and integrity. I find that a lot of I pride myself that if I have integrity. Uh, I'm one of those people, unless it's absolutely necessary, I will not increase my
Hmm.
my prices because I find it's unethical.
Right.
Like with the
I have
eggs,
to have a reason.
right.
I have to have a reason.
Like just because everybody else is going up in
No.
price, does not mean I have to go up in price. Um, and so there comes some ethics with it when I make
Hmm.
decisions in my company. And so, for instance, the egg prices, when there was the egg shortage during COVID,
Right.
and everybody's eggs prices at the farmer's market started jumping up. And they're like, you have to go up. I said, why? My cost is
Right.
not more. Why would I want to go up with the prices? I find this unethical. That's like taking advantage of somebody. Eggs is a necessity for breakfast and for
But our
nutrition.
customers notice that.
Yes.
Our
And so
regular,
I
like when I was at the
have
farmer's
customers,
market, they
right.
knew. Yeah.
Yeah. And several of my customers came. So how come? your prices didn't go up. I said, and I
Mhm.
told him, I said, my prices go up, the feed goes up. My expenses have not gone up. So why would I want to increase my prices? And they stopped for a second. They're like, what? I said, I find it unethical. But when the prices get back to normal, you remember who was honest and who was not, who took
And they
advantage of the
support
situation.
us, and they
Hmm.
know, they watch. Like, I buy fabric. I'm always going to the fabric store, little
Yeah,
shop. So I've bought ahead. So when the prices went up, I didn't go up until I went and bought
new
fabric at
ones.
that price. But
Exactly.
there was some art, some handmade, I know, when they heard it was going up, they went up. And it was like, but you've had that fabric for 5 years. Like,
Right.
but yeah, they appreciate what we do.
Mhm.
Um, and I always have the bonnets without the edging. They're a little bit less. I have them with the edging. I always have a $10 bookmark. I use my scrap fabric. And oh, let me show you. I make these little butterflies.
Butterflies.
Look how cute. Oh, I just dropped it. It's a
Uh-oh.
little magnet.
Oh no, that is the cutest little thing. Is it something new?
I have them out here or there, but it's scrap fabric.
That is the cutest little thing. You could make bows out of that.
Well, that I'm gonna make some for
You
a
know,
meet.
bows? For,
A lady
is that what they
asked
call it
me
for
to make some.
or
So
those
I'm like,
bands? The bands with the bows with
I
that
don't know if I
on
want
it?
to deal with the bands. A little barrettes are easier for me to deal with, but
Are
I'm
they
using my scrap fabric. I don't waste anything.
adorable?
Isn't that cute? Like in the little
My
magnet on the.
goodness. Oh,
So yeah, I
definitely
don't
make
waste
some
anything.
clip-on. So,
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
remember,
do
not
that.
all babies have hair because our daughter didn't have any hair. We had to glue it. We had to. my my husband's mom. She says, "Are we gonna make her look
Corn
like a
syrup.
girl?" Huh?
She used the corn syrup,
No, she
Karo
put
syrup.
tape. And I'm like, you gotta rip that little hair that she has out. But yeah, she had bow slapped on, and then I had to wash it. Use
So
shampoo
I
to
can.
wash it off. I'm like, oh my
Okay, so
god,
my
she
mom
would
would have
do
used
that.
Karo syrup. Karo syrup. They would have
Really?
put a couple of drops and stuck that bow.
Stuck it
That's
on there. No, no. She put a tape and she
she
slapped
wouldn't have
that.
used
And
tape.
I'm like, and then by the time, it was so quick that she did it. I said, Mama, we're gonna pull her hair out.
The little bit she has.
That's probably that she has, the little fuss she has. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she chose Momo was from Wyoming, so they're a little tougher up there
A
than
little
us.
bit rougher.
So they were the edge right there. Anyway, so I'm so grateful and so thankful that you joined me today. This was a lot of fun. I mean,
This
I
was so
laughed a
much
lot.
fun. I really
Yes,
enjoyed
we
it.
definitely have to do this again, maybe in 3 or 4 months when you're not too busy.
Yeah,
And
after Easter it slows down. So, but
yes,
once I know my
absolutely.
dates for Rick Rack, I'll let you know.
Yes,
Um,
please do.
yeah, I'm
Please
excited
do.
to come out that way.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
and then maybe we get together. Maybe we go live and tell people, look, we're together. We're having
Oh,
lunch
that would be
together now.
fun. I could bring the bonnets for the goats.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Can you imagine? Oh, even though I got to say, Barry loves wearing hats. I mean, Barry, the babies probably would like it too, but Barry, I put his sunglasses on him. He's wearing my glasses. He just walks around like strutting, like, look at me. You know, he likes to dress up. Um, Cherie does too, but the other ones, they could keep it maybe for 5, 10 minutes, and
Right.
then they're like, yeah, we're done with it.
They're
This
done.
is
They're done.
enough. But anyway, but yeah, so thank you, thank you, thank you. This was a lot of fun.
I
And
enjoyed it, and I'm so happy I met you in 24
yeah,
at the vintage market and visited
yes.
with you.
It's crazy when you think about how you meet and connect with
Hmm.
people, with like-minded people
Correct.
that have just such a beautiful energy, you know, on them.
But I can be feral. I can be
But
feral sometimes.
I think we have to be as business owner, but mostly we're nice people and we laugh a lot and
One of the markets I was doing, I was joking. I'm like, yeah, I'm feral and fabulous. Now, how I respond to you is how you treat me. You're good to
Right.
me and you're fabulous, but you're not. I'm gonna be feral. I am a
Right.
redhead. And so they joke with me every time they see me at an event. Are we feral? Are we fabulous?
Well, my Joe, he's the grumpy old goat, right? And people eat that up. I mean, he has a fan club.
Oh, how funny.
Oh, he had people that when we go to certain markets, they do not want to be helped. No, we're waiting for Grumpy. Oh, that's it. It's my alarm for to feed the babies.
Oh,
I
to
got to
feed the
get off.
babies.
Yeah, I got to go feed
Well,
the
we will
babies.
do this again. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me. It was
love
so much
you.
fun.
Thank you.
Love
Talk to you
you. Have a
later.
good first
Bye.
quarter. Bye.
Well, you too. Rock it, girl.
You too. Bye.